Well, first I'd like to start by saying thank you to Bronco Nation for showing up down here in San Diego. We got a lot of young men from Southern California on our team, and it was awesome to see all the families out here for their support throughout the game, the energy they brought. Proud of the team for coming on the road here, first conference game, coming in, to play a very tough opponent, a very physical opponent, and love the way the team worked together tonight in all three phases. It wasn't perfect. It's never going to be. We'll go watch the film and there'll be things to clean up, but there's a lot of things to celebrate, in which we did well tonight. Again, that allowed us to come on the road and beat a very tough opponent to start conference.
How impressive was Ashton tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it was, that's what he's capable of doing. And, I would say that Ashton's extremely talented. He can continue to keep growing. I love how the O-line and the tight ends blocked tonight. That was a huge part of it. There were some pretty big holes, and when there wasn't, he was pretty impressive in how he broke tackles. The yards after, contact were huge, and not only for him, but Steph had one down the sideline over here. TG had a huge third down play when I don't know how he made all those people miss in the backfield, and, turned it up the corner, made a corner miss on our sideline for a first down in a critical moment of the game.
He keeps coming up big for you, all year. Just how much have you relied on him?
You talking about Ashton?
Ashton, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we fed him tonight. You guys got the stats. How many times he carried the ball?
27 touches, 253 yards.
47 touches. And halftime we
27.
27. I was gonna say 47 was a lot. There was only 63 plays. That means that. But we said at halftime, we're going to keep feeding the horse. The O-line was all in. Take those guys every day of the week, and they continued to do it. And so we got right back to it after that first drive in the second half, and Ashton kept doing it. Just really proud of him, and again, the way he prepared this week. Playing that position is not easy. I mean, you can imagine what your body goes through playing the running back position, then let alone on a short week and being able to come back and do that.
Would you make of the, you guys came up big once again in the red zone, had two pretty nice fumbles. What'd you think of those? We saw your emotion after the second one.
Yeah, we've created some takeaways down there in the red zone. We got to do a better job though out in the open field. I promise you, we will be back to tackling on Sunday. We will do a whole lot of tackling. We need to clean that up. I felt like we were in our fits and at the right spots. We just missed too many tackles tonight, and ultimately we played too much football down in the red zone. But again, I love our guys and how, when their back was against the wall down there, they came up with takeaways and they fought. So our guys are awesome. They'll continue to learn and grow. They'll do what we ask of them in terms of us as coaches. That's for us too as coaches. We obviously got to do a better job on creating permanent habits that are going to allow them to be successful.
I don't know if you played more guys tonight, but it seemed like you really rotated a lot of guys on defense tonight.
Yeah, we did. I mean, as the season goes on, we've got to be able to continue to grow the dependable depth. And we got guys that are ready to jump in there and play. It's some situations call for playing, more guys depending on. We probably played out of, we played out of three, 4 different groups today on defense. So, I mean, that's a big game plan for a short week. But given all the things that they were doing on offense, it allowed for a lot more guys to play.
The rushing attack, I mean, with what you did against them last year, rushing for 300 yards and seeing some of their performance so far this year, were you thinking you could come in and have success running the ball?
That's got to be our mentality every single week. I mean, run to win, bottom line. We've got an O-line that is going to work their tails off for this team. We got tight ends, the wide receivers. It's always got to be a huge part. If we want to be a championship teams run the ball.
Coach, this was the conference opener for two teams that have been in the top of the conference for the last few years. I think the turnstile attendance was 14,000 tonight. Is that surprising to you that so few people were here?
I'm excited to see all the Bronco Nation that was here. That's all I was focused on in terms of the crowd.
With Ashton, I know he had 2 fumbles last week. Comes up on Monday, he owns it. You think like he might, I don't know, he ran so hard tonight still, and it didn't seem like ball security was an issue at all. Like, how did he learn and grow from last week to this week? And
yeah, I mean, mistakes are going to happen in the game. It's about how we fix those with how we prepare, how intentional we are day-to-day at practice. That's what we just spoke to the team on in there, how intentional we are with certain things, whether it's, the basic emphasis of football that we can't take lightly. whether that's tackling, whether that's ball security, that's catching the ball, the basic fundamentals. Those are the things that can't slip. We got to get stronger, and be more efficient with those as we go throughout the course of the season here.
Taylor was just over 50% on his passing or completion percentage. What'd you make of him in the passing attack tonight?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we're going to run the win.
First quarter, 26 total offensive yards, but after that, you really kind of came a lot of that was behind Genty. Kind of what changed there. Do you think it was just the way Genty was running the ball, or were we just getting better looks?
Yeah, I'll tip the hat to our coaches too, because after those first couple of drives, we were able to say, okay, this is what we can do well based off of what they were doing on defenses, with their coverage structures and the different things they were doing with their fronts. I tip our hat to our coaches in being able to identify some run plays that obviously we're going to be able to be successful, and then the guys being able to go to execute them, and Ashton being explosive.
Demetrius meant a lot to the program, obviously. You had 3 dozen family members here. I think that sack kind of at a point in the game where it gave you guys the ball back in favorable field position. How cool was that moment for him?
I was just fired up for him. Demetrius is playing some of his best football right now, and not only to be able to come back to where he grew up with all his family here and to make some big time plays. And, there's some of the things that aren't seen too. When we turn on this film and watch it, we're going to see how he set some edges today too in the run game and how physical he was.
Did you consider? Go ahead, Rachel.
Thank you. Troy Wilkie got a chance to get in on the kick return today.
He was excited. Did you see how excited? He jumped right in front of KD and took that thing from him. That was kind of scary. What's that?
How nice is it to have one of those Idaho kids representing, especially someone that was so dynamic in high school?
The whole team will tell you that Troy is a dude, and what I mean by that is, man, that he is so passionate. His mentality. Talk about a guy that shows up every single day and has fun playing the game and plays it a certain way, the way it should be played. So I wasn't surprised when he jumped in there on the kickoff return and jumped in front of KD to return the ball, and then, I mean, he pushed it straight up in there and dropped his pads on those guys. So, we'll continue to find roles. It's another young guy that has proven that he's going to show up every day and work, and that, we can find roles for those guys to contribute. Any which way, then we want to do that. We want to play as many guys as possible.
Did you want to? Did you consider just sliding and going down that last touchdown so you could run out the clock, or did you want to score that touchdown and let them have the ball back?
Well, it's a 2-possession game if we scored there. So
you could have run the clock out though if you got the first down.
If you look at the charts, the clock needed to get to a certain part there, or a certain time on the clock with one timeout. The clock was taken.
You mentioned the physicality on defense, and that leaves, loading the boxes out there down the run game, leaves those one-on-ones on the perimeter.
Yeah.
When you're watching the film and talking with the rest of the guys on defense and you make your directions, is this going to be something where the communication is, hey, we're going to make peace with the fact that we got to win those one-on-one matchups, or did they throw some unexpected looks at you?
You know what? We were there. We just, we were on the hip of a couple of those throws, especially early on, the first touchdown. Rod was right there. I mean, we missed the ball when we went to knock it down. So, for us, what we need to do a better job of, and we picked it up this week, but we didn't do a good enough job, is finishing drills. We're gonna be in tight coverage a lot by the nature of the beast and how we play defense here. Us as coaches, I will make sure that we do a much better job of making sure that our guys are in position to finish and they're confident to finish on the ball as we move forward.
Andy, just to go on the road, conference play, and just to be a one-possession, 3-point game in the fourth quarter there and to pull it out. I mean, just you're going 1-0 every week. It's a long season, but how big was to get this win to start conference play?
Yeah, there's no doubt it's huge. That's why we're from the standpoint of being able to run the ball and finish this game off the way we did. Like, we're not going to take that away. If we get to a certain spot where we can finish it off, then we're going to. And there on defense, we obviously want to finish better at the end in the 2-minute drill. But to come on the road and do what we did on a short week against an opponent like this, man, I love our guys for that. They worked their tails off. They jumped right back into it and got to work this week. Now we get a little bit of rest tomorrow, and to get the guys and the coaching staff some well-deserved rest after this short week.
Anything else? For Taylor, maybe second week in a row we started a little slow, but he also second week in a row where he seemed to respond, and he made some winning plays there down the stretch. What did you think of the way Taylor played tonight?
I think he played well. I mean, there was some tight coverage. We had some opportunities. We missed a couple deep balls, but I love the way early on he hit the one in a matchup that was favorable and we knew we wanted. I mean, they got some good corners. they played well on the outside today. They played a lot of man, and so naturally, you know, if the opportunities aren't there, the one thing we want to make sure we don't want to force things. And I didn't feel like he did that tonight. And he extended some plays with his legs, and they, you know, one went for a touchdown. Again, this third down over here at the end of the game when he was bottled up in the backfield and made a couple guys miss, reverse field, and, you know, turned the corner and made a very good DB in number 10, you know, missed an open field tackle to get a first down. That was a huge play in the game.